Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am Kylie Ray Seberg, Senior Design Director and Lead Designer of our project I'm going to show you today. This one is a little different, a little more unique, something you really haven't seen from us. It's funky, it's feminine, it's edgy, it's eclectic, and it's extremely curated. Welcome you to House of Kraus. Some facts about this house. This is 4,700 square feet, 5-bedroom, 4-bath, located in Scottsdale, Arizona. So our clients actually came to us, they bought this home. So we did not design the hardscape of it, but we switched out all of the lighting, we added some specialty wall finishes, changed out some paint, and really made it our own. But it was given a good shell and a good base for us to be able to do that with. So one thing about this house, you walk right in and it is a very open concept. So that is very popular these days, but we need to create some smaller, more intimate spaces. That's something our clients really wanted. And so we kind of felt like the perfect option for that. It was right in the entryway. It was to create this true entry moment. So something we don't always get to do in our floor plans that we design typically. So I really enjoyed this. And I feel like every piece in this home has some unique character about it, which is so amazing. It's extremely curated and it was so enjoyable to design. So starting in this entryway, we've got this like teal, green, blue basket weave rug, like immediately an intrigue piece that you're kind of like, whoa, that's amazing. And then we've created this entry moment with a white 48-inch round table and these two ottomans that have this like touch of feminine with the fringe tassels on the bottoms, which I absolutely love. Another thing that you're probably wondering, what is that? Are all the florals in this house? So our client loves florals. She has this like feminine touch about her and we completely took that to our advantage. And I had these custom made by Form Floral. I worked with Jordan over there and he knocked it out of the park. I literally was like, my jaw was on the floor when he delivered these last week. And it was so much fun just sending inspiration and going back and forth with him and seeing him create this. This is true artistry, like something we could never recreate ourselves. He hand painted some of these florals. They're dried, so our client will have zero maintenance with these. And like the viola marble, we were all just like drooling over. It's just absolutely stunning and something that I love. One other thing that completely out of random, he didn't realize this, and I actually can't remember what he told me this. I was like, is this a maple leaf? Our clients are Canadian, and I just felt like that was such a cute little touch. It was very not intentional on his end, but it was kind of just like came out of nowhere and it really pulled it all together. Our clients are super special to us. You might recognize Claire, the wife. She actually models for our brand at THELIFESTYLEDCO, and her husband is a professional hockey player. So they are just dream clients, truly, like a dream sent from the heavens above. They trust our vision. She has amazing, incredible taste. She wants really unique, different design. So you'll see that throughout the space, and we completely represented them. I feel like both him and her throughout this. You'll also have to check out the gallery wall because they are the most beautiful people I've ever seen. So once you see that, you'll understand. So you'll notice another thing that's unique about this space is kind of the shape. So again, in this room, it's big, open concept, and we wanted to create more intimate spaces within that. This is very narrow for your great room setting, especially for the size of this room. So we kind of had to play around with the furniture. And here we started with this big sectional, something we don't typically like to see, or like maybe is not considered a design yes, maybe more of a design no, is walking into the back of a sofa. We typically would put 2 chairs, something that you can kind of flow through and see through to the backyard. But because of the space, you really can't put anything close to those exterior doors. So I found this piece and I felt like it was perfect because it's not a full L-shaped sectional. As you'll see, it has these integrated side tables within it and it's so cool. It's also super comfortable, but it just kind of makes it a little less bulky and taking up space, and just again gives it a little more intrigue, something to look at, but also still super comfortable since this is one of their main areas to watch TV. This coffee table is actually not what was designed and what's supposed to be here. Our client loves natural stone, she loves marble. So we found these two red marble, like tiered nesting coffee tables. And of course they're back ordered till forever and ever and ever. But we found these as stand-ins and I actually think it looks so good. She may end up wanting to keep them as they are. We kind of paired sort of this green swirl marble look-alike abstract coffee table with a side table that kind of mimics those red marble tones and layered those. And I just think, again, you're gonna see a lot of color in this house and this is a good spot that we added it in. Another thing that we did in this project is change out all of the light fixtures. This one right here is like, has my heart, I love it. This burgundy color, you'll notice it in another area in the house. It's loud and proud over there. But I wanted to tie it in a few spaces and just kind of make sure it got little moments of cohesion and that you could see it throughout the space. But this is from Arteriors. I absolutely love it. I just think the burgundy color is so good and it still acts as a neutral in this house. So while there's color, I feel like it's very neutral and just creates a good sort of vibe and energy. Now we are in the kitchen. This is such a large kitchen with so much storage, but one thing it also has is a ton of personality. My favorite thing, actually, I don't know, there's a lot of my favorite things in this kitchen, but one of my favorite things is the pendant lighting. So the lighting that was here before was actually pretty similar in shape, but our client felt like they were way too industrial for her and just not the right scale and size. So we swapped these out for this beautiful linen shade with the scallop detail. Again, this is like that touch of feminine and eclecticness that just adds so much personality. You can shop these on our website actually. Any of the products that you are able to shop, we will make sure to link them in the description. And you can also go to our page and make sure you type in House of Crafts Project and you can shop everything that's available. Little plug there. But so I feel like these just kind of set the tone and changed how sort of masculine this kitchen could be, and we just softened it up a lot. So I love, love, love those lights. These counter stools are so good. They are from Maiden Home. They are not cheap, but they are worth every penny in my opinion. You can pick, they have a huge variety of fabrics to choose from, and I love that our client was willing to take the risk and she trusted me when I picked this cider velvet. It's so good. It's like a perfect burnt orange. I feel like a lot of clients would have been safe with, you know, a black boucle or, you know, something a little more safe and balanced, but I love this pop of color in here. It's so good. Something you'll also notice throughout, like I mentioned at the entryway, we've got tons of these florals. These are all faux, and they're seriously so good. I just feel like I love that she's never gonna have to have any maintenance. They're never gonna die on her, and they really just add so much character to the space. One of my favorite parts of the kitchen as well is this little area over here. So it's really large, and I love that this has kind of its own little unique identity. You could kind of make this whatever you needed. If you're entertaining, you've got this whole bar that could be buffet style, leave all your platters out, but it also looks really beautiful styled like this. So we swapped out the sconces for these. I'm obsessed with them. The ones that were there I actually loved. We put them in the pantry, which you'll see next. But this just plays with the scale of these really tall ceilings. Again, we've got those curves, and I love the swing arms that they're coming out. It's just so bespoke and eclectic, and I am living for it. We styled this very easy to be lived in. You'll notice we've got some silverware that even has beautiful personality. Like what? I'm obsessed with this. And then we've got the handmade bowls, and then we've also got another little dried floral arrangement right here that Form Floral put together. I could never do that even if I tried, but it adds so much to the space and I just love it. I also feel like this little window moment over here, we added all the window treatments in the house as well. And this is a little cafe curtain rod with the shears. Like, are you joking? That is just so like French, and I absolutely love it. One thing that we're known for is sharing as many sources as we can. Unfortunately, I can't give you any of those on the kitchen because we did not design the hardscape here. But while I will give you as many furniture, lighting, and rug specs as I can, the hardscape is a secret. Let me take you back this way. Speaking of secrets, one of my favorite parts of this kitchen is behind these doors. So let me take you through. So behind these secret doors is their pantry, and I love how this came together. You'll notice there is a lot of color in here, something you don't usually see from us. And I've mentioned before, our client has incredible taste. And this rainbow cookbook display was totally all her idea. She texted me a few weeks ago and was like, do you think we can make this happen? And yes, we pulled it out in the 11th hour, and it's so good, and something I never would have thought of, just because I'm not trained in coloring, sourcing colored cookbooks, but we made it happen. It's all Roy G. Biv, and I love, love, love that it just like adds so much character to the space. So because there's so much color, we had to bring that out in all the other pieces. So you'll see there's blue plates over here, pink macaroons, macaroon, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. We've got a blue tea kettle. This is also like their coffee station in here. So tons of storage again, but also really good prep space. The hardscape is very edgy, I'd say, with it being black cabinets and black tile backsplash. So this really softens it up and just adds like a whimsical touch and makes it a space that you truly want to walk into every day. So the last little stop of this open concept room is the dining space. And we needed this to be a moment because honestly, I think this might be like the largest area of this whole room, and it really needed to take up some weight. So I found this table that is stunning. It is literally a hunk of travertine, and it has these fluted travertine bases. It's all real stone, and it's so freaking good. I'm obsessed with it. It is so heavy. We've had to move it a couple times, and every time it takes like 8 people to move it. So sorry for everyone that's had to do that. We paired it with these black linen round back chairs that just have these really slim, modern lined black legs that are just really sleek, and I feel like are a nice juxtaposition against the natural stone table. We grounded this space with a huge 10 by 14 charcoal rug, just kind of solid and doesn't compete with all the other spaces, but again, just like really grounds the space. This stone was on the wall, which I love because or else this would have just been like a huge white wall. So I love that the stone was brought here by the builder who built this house. And then they did all the wine racks and the shelving as well. So we've got wine storage, floor to ceiling, which is super nice. And then the metal shelving over here that we can have more display, some of your bottles. And then we added in this buffet piece. So this is actually where you'll probably store things that you're using, just because this is so high up, unless you're tall, which luckily the husband is tall. He can grab things from the top shelf, but this is kind of where you're gonna make your drinks, store your stuff that you're actually using on a day-to-day basis. One other thing that I absolutely love about this room are these window treatments. They are so beautiful. They're floor to ceiling, this white airy sheer, and I just like when they're closed, they look like a freaking like luxe hotel. It's just so good, and then you open them and they add so much softness and weight to the room. I'm obsessed. One thing I completely forgot to mention is this insane candle centerpiece that we kind of created and had our little brainchild with. So I want to say this is 72 tapered candles in different colors. We tied these really nice chiffon and velvet ribbons around it, and it just creates this moment. Honestly, this is a moment. I'm allowed to say the M word, you guys. And this is a true moment. Like, imagine like the lights are low, you're having your friends over, dinner party, wine's poured. Like, talk about romantic and bringing all the vibes. So right off the entry, there's 2 double doors that take you into the den, or what we like to call your waiting for your Uber room. This room has major vibes. We wanted this to kind of be something that when the doors are open, you walk in through the front of the house and you look over and you're like, what is that? And it takes you in. So we added wallpaper in here in this really cool geometric shape that's got a bunch of different colors and patterns throughout it. And then we paired it with paint on the ceiling, painting the doors and painting the base and all the trim. So that paint color is Black Fox, Sherwin-Williams, one of our favorites. And then the wallpaper in here, this is from Mitchell Black, and it just adds like a nice touch of personality, and that subtle green color just like adds a little bit of color, but also feels pretty neutral in this space. There's a lot of pattern play happening in here. So all of our pillows that I'm surrounded by are from our shop that you can shop on thelifestyledco.com. And we've got florals, we've got some stripes, some more contrasting colors, and it all really just goes. I feel like there's no rules in this room, honestly. Like you can just kind of throw whatever and it sticks, which is something that I love. The art on the wall, we custom curated and had custom framed. It's by Helmut Newton. Our client wanted something that was a little risque, a little cheeky, for lack of a better term. I had to do that. And we paired that with the Canadian goose, which again is just like a touch of like a little eclectic mixed with something that just is like a total conversation piece. And I love how those came together. You'll also notice that there's other art on the wall. Their dog, they have the cutest little French bulldog named Butter, and we had to represent him throughout the house. So we had this custom made of his little head on a suit. We call it Butter in a Tux. And that just is kind of a little layering moment, add some personality. And another thing I haven't talked about is the furniture in here. So this is actually super comfortable. This is a like nice size sectional, but it's got a curved shape. So it fits the space well without feeling like the furniture is just like sitting against the wall and like taking up so much weight in this room. And then we paired that with 2 swivel chairs. So if you've got your friends over, you want to play games, have a little game night, want to have some drinks, again, wait for your Uber, or you're kind of in here before or after your dinner, it just is a nice place to escape to. So on this side of the house, there's 2 guest bedrooms, and there's also this kind of random hallway to the backyard. This had the shiplap, the vertical shiplap on the walls, but it needed an identity because it was just kind of like, what are we doing with this hallway? So this is a young, youthful couple. They just got married recently, and we thought, you know, what better than this like giddy up print? It's kind of like a conversation piece. You walk down the hallway, you're like, what? And I love it. I feel like it's perfect for this house. We paired this with this bench that's just this beautiful hand carved and is like really substantial and just something that again is like intriguing to look at as you walk by. We offset it with these vases on the wall, again, more faux flowers. And then we paired it with, we did end up repainting this shiplap just to kind of give it, again, a little more of an identity in here. And this is Sherwin-Williams backdrop. So we've got 2 guest rooms over here. I'm obsessed with both of them, but which one should we go in first? I honestly can't decide, but I think we'll go this way first. So come along with me. Sometimes in homes, guest bedrooms can feel forgotten and kind of a space where you don't put all the money into, and not even that this costs a lot, but you kind of just don't do all the extra details that makes the space feel up to the level as the rest of the home. So that was super important that we made sure that everything was kind of the same level in this house. And I would love to be a guest in this room. I mentioned our client, he's a professional hockey player, so they have lots of people that come into town and visit them, their family. They don't live here all the time, so this is gonna be the perfect space to host them. We've got a king-size bed in here, paired with a big, beautiful dresser. Again, everything just has some character and a little intrigue. One area that I love that came together so beautifully is this sort of little curated gallery wall. Cassie's another designer at The Lifestyle Co. She helped me pull all the styling and everything together, and this is something that she really helped put her touch on. We've got different curated black and white images. Again, you'll notice like some of the photography pulls from the photography in the den. And then a lot of these are actually from their wedding. So like their wedding photos have photos that can be perfectly curated into the gallery wall, which I love. Like this is, I feel like they could sell that on Etsy for a lot of money and like people would keep reprinting it. Something I love. And then in the bedroom, we painted all the walls in here just again, make it feel a little more cozy. This is called Diverse Beige. I want to say it's Sherwin-Williams, but we'll make sure to link that in the description for you. But this, again, king-size bed is just so beautifully layered. I love that it's fully upholstered all the way around. And we've got these wall sconces that plug in, but they've got those fluted shades. And again, playing with the pattern play and the color play, while this still feels really like natural and balanced and tranquil in here, we've got the pops of orange and the fringe tassels on the edges of the pillows. And I just think the whole space really came together. So opposite the other guest bedroom is this one, which I'm totally obsessed with it. I don't even know where to start But one thing when we were designing it, I remember Kristen and I were having this conversation. We're like, we want this to feel like you could close your eyes and this whole space, if it was just locked off and you were just in here, would be like your summer apartment in Chelsea or somewhere that you would escape to, and it's just has all the vibes. And maybe it's not something you want every day, but it's something that just brings you joy, and I feel like this room hits all the marks. There's so many different details that I love about this space. One of them is, again, pattern play in here. So you'll notice we've got the contrasting black and white checker rug, which I feel like just adds a really nice pop of pattern, paired with all the other more delicate features. Something that we also did differently in here, which was, again, all the styling in this whole project was like so fun to curate and order for because it was just different. I feel like the bedding, we're usually known for our linen bedding and, you know, nice and big Euro shams and the whole thing, and just very super balanced and layered. But with this, I found this white duvet with the black scallop trim, and I just love it. It's got so much personality, and we paired it with striped linen sheets. I love, again, like just the subtle pattern pop. These pillows are so beautiful, and like this rose long lumbar that's made of velvet with these burgundy tassels, again burgundy, tying it through in the design. It just all feels so good to me. This bed, I believe we sell these on our site as well, but this is a custom bed that you can pick any of the colors for the fabric, and it's fully slip covered, and I just love this like almost mauve color. It's really pretty and just like very, very subtle. Above the bed, we've got this curated art. I mentioned that they have a French bulldog, and I found this artist that hand sketches all these dogs. And on the design boards at first, I think I'd put in like a lab or something, and then I found that she did a French bulldog, and I'm like, oh my God, could not be more perfect. Here's butter. And then we paired that with a swan next to it, and it just gives that little eclectic vibe. Another thing you'll notice on the nightstands, we have mismatching lamps. Ooh, scary. something a little more designer. I remember the movers came in and they're like, do you know you only have one of this lamp and you only have one of that lamp? And I'm like, yes, that was intentional. That was on purpose, but thank you for noticing. So we've got different lamps, and they're placed on top of these burlwood nightstands, which are so pretty. This is another thing, our warehouse team, when these got received, we always have everything received and inspected, and they were like, you know, this wood has like nodding, like they just didn't think it was right. And I'm like, no, we paid extra for that. It's supposed to look like that, and I love it. It's got the rounded corners, and then those little brass details. It's so good. Something over here, the little bow hooks paired with our client's beautiful sweater and shoes. Again, this is just like, imagine if you're on vacation, you just got back from shopping, you're taking a little rest before you go to a really nice late dinner with your friends. And I just think the whole thing is such a vibe. Over here, one last thing I want to talk about again. I love all the faux florals that Form Floral did. Seriously, like, he knocked it out of the park. I'm just obsessed with them. I think that this is like a masterpiece. Again, I mentioned like he hand painted all of these just to match like my inspo and kind of get it to go with the color tones of the room. And I think it's so perfectly well done. So off of the garage, we've got this sort of key drop, and this was included in the hardscape. So it had the stone that matches from the dining, and then this big bank of drawers that's floating. So super nice, tons of storage, but I remember I'm like, what are we gonna do to fill this space? It's really long and really big. And she wanted a big mirror moment, so that's what we gave her. This mirror, I wanna say is like 6 feet by 7 feet wide, and the scale of it is just like perfect on this wall. It's got that subtle like demi-arch feature, so nice softness. And these lamps on either side were meant for this space. They were made for this space. These are Sarah Sherman Samuel, and they are so good. They are truly like artwork, honestly. I feel like just with the black and like the subtle sort of curvature of the arms and just the tiered, they fill up this space so well, and every time everyone turns the corner, they're like, oh my God, that is so pretty. Okay, now for my pride and joy of the whole entire project, the primary bedroom. I'm so obsessed. Okay, so this is really something you have probably never seen from the THELIFESTYLEDCO before, an entirely monochromatic burgundy red bedroom. So something I have to just talk about. I remember when I was designing this, and I don't even remember what really inspired this. Actually, wait, I do, sorry. I saw a red velvet lamp on Anthropology. And I remember this was when like the red trend last year was like really coming in hot. And I sent a text to Kristen and I'm like, how committed to red are we? And I think her exact words were like, we're all for it until Christmas. And I was like, can I put a red lamp in Kraus? And she was like, absolutely not. Now we're here. So we totally evolved the design from one little red lamp to an entire red bedroom. And when I presented this to Kristen before we showed our clients, she was like, holy shit, I love it. Let's do it. So we hope they'll go for it. So we actually presented the room in a couple different variations. This was the first one, and we were like, this is it's gonna be such a moment. It's so good. And Claire and Lawson absolutely loved it. They were all for it, and I'm so happy that they wanted to go all in because you guys, it turned out so freaking good. I know this room isn't gonna be for everyone, so leave your negative comments to yourself because I promise you, it is so well done. It is so thoughtfully designed and curated, and if you were in this room too, you would absolutely love it. So the room already had box molding on the walls, which is such a nice detail and really adds the layers. We took that one step further by adding the Roman clay. If you were to recreate this at home, A, go you, but B, I don't know if I would spend the money on doing the Roman clay and the box molding. I mean, I would if the funds aren't important, but that's just gonna add up really quickly. So I love that it has the layers. We painted all the trim the same color, so Meritage by Portola, and then we also Roman clayed the ceiling. Another detail that it was kind of just like we asked the painter like, hey, can you do this for us? And I'm so happy we did because it helps it just blend into the ceiling as we had them paint the ceiling fan. So again, they just sprayed the ceiling fan while it was up, and they're like, we don't know how this is gonna hold up. And we're like, it's fine, we can always just replace it with another ceiling fan if need be. But hubby's a hot sleeper, so we needed to make sure that that ceiling fan stayed, and I think this is a really good way of keeping it in here while also making the design cohesive. One of my favorite things ever is this custom bed. I designed this myself, and I had this made by our workroom in LA, and you guys, it's so incredible. The scale of this, I think it's like 84 inches tall by 150 inches wide. It looks like it's separate panels with this scallop trim along the top. So again, the Roman clay, the box molding, then this big upholstered bed is just so many layers, and like it feels luxe and it feels so custom. Like we've walked into this room, we're like, imagine this was like the suite at, you know, a boutique hotel, the presidential suite. You'd walk in and your jaw would be on the ground, trust me. And they get to live here, which is even better. But I love the headboard, and the whole bed is made in this sort of wine burgundy velvet that again is just cohesive with the other finishes in the room. Another thing that I love is the layers of this bedding. Kristen and I actually had a design style session where we literally sat down, we blocked like 4 hours, and we went through all the boards as they were presented to our clients, and we created really unique concepts for the styling. And one of the things we created, or that we found this inspiration photo. I don't even want to share where it was from because it's kind of silly, but we saw this crushed velvet bedding, and it's all layered in this like rose tone, broken with this like olive green, and it's so good, and it's so obnoxious and over the top, and it's perfect for our clients. It's amazing. It's got this ruffle detail, again, in this crushed velvet, something you don't usually see from us. But don't worry, there is an oatmeal linen duvet underneath, because while I mentioned that hubby is a hot sleeper, I can't imagine sleeping in velvet, honestly. But we layered that with so many pillows, so many textiles. The room just feels so layered and like yummy. These nightstands fit perfectly with the size of the headboard. So again, this like curvature and the black oak plays with the curves on the top of the headboard. I love these red marble lamps with the fluted shade. It just feels so perfectly curated and well thought out, and I'm obsessed. This room is a really great size and allows for sort of different stations to happen in this room. We've got this really beautiful sitting area with these sheepskin round back chairs with these really yummy ball feet. And I love that that can just be kind of a space to unwind or start your day or end your day there. The primary bathroom is off of the bedroom, of course, and it's got this massive shower that you could literally fit a car in, and the beautiful his and hers vanities, little brass touches that pull from the bedroom. But one thing that we also needed in this bedroom is this vanity situation. I need this in my house. I want to recreate this somehow. It literally fits perfectly in the space. It feels so curated and unique. Every single piece I love and I'm obsessed with. But this is just a great spot for, you know, her to put her jewelry on or touch up her makeup or write a thank you note. She is the kindest, sweetest person ever, and I can only imagine that she writes thank you notes all day because that's the kind of person Claire is. But I love how this came together. And again, another beautiful faux floral arrangement. The little pops of yellow on the flowers are just perfect with the color of the room. And again, just add a little pop of color, and I love this area. Another wow moment in this bedroom are these window treatments. I seriously feel like this feels like a luxe hotel. Our clients are very well traveled. Again, I mentioned he's a professional athlete, so he needs to be able to come unwind and like take a nap during the day and get ready for a big game. So we need to make sure these were fully blackout. So we've got floor to ceiling, wall to wall, ceiling track, blackout, and sheers. So again, just those layers add so much to the space. This window treatment fabric is also very complementing to the wall color. Paired with the sheer, I feel like the lightness and the darkness just add to the vibe and just make it so good. This backyard was made for entertaining. There are so many spaces to come and hang out. I love this one right off the great room. These furniture pieces you can shop from us, but they're actually all the same collection and they look like they could go together as like a U-shaped sectional, which I actually think they can, but we chose to break them up. So we've got kind of the chaise here, chaise there, and then back piece here separated with these side tables. And I like that that allows for some flow. And they're little smaller pieces, but they take up the space nicely. Then let me take you through over to this side. So like I mentioned, entertainer's dream. We've got this humongous grill top that seats 8, I think. And then this big wall. This was actually our client's kind of brainchild. She was like, there's this huge wall and I want something to go there. They really thought there should be a window there. So we kind of mimicked that and we did this mirror installation. One thing I brought up to her, I'm like, we probably want to make these antique mirrors because they're gonna get dirty and dusty when these like haboofs come in the summer. So the antiqueness kind of just creates that dirt vibe, and when they get a little dirty, they don't need to fully be cleaned. But they really are nice kind of reflection and just a nice thing to look at while you're out here. And then I'll take you through, we've got the cactus, which is very Arizona. Our towel hooks over here. So we've got this little sitting area over here. These chairs are massive. You could easily fit 2 people in each one, but this is just a nice way. Like, imagine your morning coffee over here, reading a book when the weather's nice, just kind of enjoying the outside and the nature sounds over in this little intimate area. And then let me take you over into the pergola. So the real focal point out here is the furniture. All of these pieces are so beautiful and can be shopped from us. This sectional, I love that it's got this sort of slip cover skirting detail on it with the big bolster pillows along the back. It feels so nice and substantial, fills the space really well. Again, all outdoor rated, so you don't have to worry about any of the harmful weather effects hurting it, I guess. And then we kind of paired the ruffle pillows, again, add that like feminine touch from the inside, bringing that outside. These big chairs, I love, again, they're nice and super wide. The scale is super important. I always say this in like every home, but also outdoor furniture. Sometimes outdoor furniture looks really nice, but it's like the size of a Tic Tac. So out here it was really important to make sure that, you know, they can seat athletes and multiple people and just be a good space to entertain. Thank you guys so much for stopping by House of Kraus. I had the best time showing you around. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, all the things at The Lifestyled Co. You can follow me on my personal page at Miss Kylie Ray. And make sure you stay tuned for after this. We are actually filming the client reveal and you're gonna wanna see a little sneak peek. So make sure you check that one out. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.